evening. Got a new set design situation. Look, it's messy, but it'll do, alright? It'll do. Ta-da! Look, I try to put on a friggin' good show and it just doesn't fucking look right, does it? Hey, Naya, what's up? Yeah. Alright. I'm just gonna do a song, forget talking too much. Yeah, alright, that'll do. Cool. Bit of a sloppy start, but let's get into it. I expected love when first we kissed. Blame it on my youth. If only just for you, I did exist. Blame it on my youth. I believe in everything. Like a child who's great. You meant more than anything. You meant all the world to me. You, where am I? Unextended. Blame it on my youth. I forgot to eat. Sleep and pray. Blame on my youth. If cry a little bit when first I learned the truth. Don't blame it on my heart. Blame it on my youth. Early bird, I see you there. Is your wife watching? Because I have an announcement to make. Comment. Is your wife watching? I'm going to make the announcement. Anyway, the big news is... Good. Rena, get ready. The big news is... My girlfriend is pregnant. Hey, I can't hear you, but I know you're all clapping and stuff. I am so excited. I've got the $400 this time. I've got it. No, it's not true. Anyway, look, Actually, I had 2 girlfriends for a while, doing the whole poly thing. Yeah, don't do it. Do not do it. Everyone knows the correct amount of girlfriends for long-term happiness is 0. 0 girlfriends. They both gave me the same. They both gave me the same speech. No one wants to be number 2, Michael. No one wants to be number 2. No one wants to be number 2, Michael. So I was talking to number 1 about it, and I said, honey, I've wanted nothing more than to wake up next to you every second day the rest of my life. I was talking to number 2 about it, and she was yelling and she was swearing, she was throwing things, and I just like T-Rex'd it, because women's vision's based on movement, right? And she was carrying on, and then she just like, and she went to sleep. She just went to sleep. So, the big speech, or just nothing, just say nothing. Say nothing. Alright? Reminds me of a meme I once saw on Instagram. A wise man once said, nothing. He just listened, and they had sex afterwards. Say nothing. Smart man. Hey Rach, this one's for you, alright? Jazz is like evergreen. Jazz is never stale. It's always, it's always in. It's always good content. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found there's somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be glad just to accept thinking of you. Some others I see might never be me, might never be cross or try to be the boss, but they wouldn't do for nobody else. Gave me a thrill with all your faults, I love still. It had to be you, one for you. It had to be you. Do you like the vest? Rach. I swear the Google bots got to me in lockdown. They were like, hey, do you want this vest? Is that what you need in lockdown? And I was like, yes, Google. You get me. You get me. Some others I see might never be me, might never be cross, try to be boss. They wouldn't do for nobody else. You gave me a thrill with all of your faults. I love you still, baby. Had to be you, one for you. Had to be you. Hey, Mike. Thanks, buddy. Classics. All right. What are we going to do now? Look. I've been doing intermittent fasting, actually. Intermittent fasting, anyone? If you don't, it's good. Yeah, it's really good for when you're waiting for your JobKeeper payment. Updated that joke, I did. Yeah, I actually went vegan this year. Yeah. Oh, there's no joke. We're just like telling people. People fucking hate vegans though. Like I think vegans are less preachy now. There was a time where vegans were like, you know, pushing it all the time, but now like a lot more people are vegan. It's just like there's less like resistance around it and stuff. So it's not too bad. But you know, I'm at a stage now where if someone doesn't like me, it's just like I don't care. Like I've got other friends. You know, if you're like, oh, you're vegan, it's like cool. And you know, if someone's like resenting me or like giving me the silent treatment, it's like good. I hope you get an ulcer. That's what you get for holding shit against me. Nah, man, I think that's like some old man shit anyway. Just getting old. Alright. Alright, saucy. Let's do this. You won't admit you love me, and so how am I ever to know? You only tell me, perhaps. A million times I asked you, and then I asked you over again. You only tell me, perhaps. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted or broken hearted. So if you really loved me, say yes. But if you don't feel, confess. Please don't tell me, perhaps. I call that the shimmy tree. True, they're not very expensive either. It's how good is the name festoon lights? Like yeah, Yanni bought a box of them and I was like, festoon lights. Like I had a good old time just calling them out by name. You can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't deal, confess. Please don't tell me. Perhaps. Did you see me dancing, Rena? Perhaps. I danced a bit and I'm going to dance more, Rena. Hey, Marianne, what's cracking? Zoop being a jerk on the internet as usual. Alright, what a difference. No. Hey, does anyone know, what is that app? What's that app where, you know, you go to like different places and try to catch like weird creatures? Anyone? Yeah. Anyone? What's that app? You know what I'm talking about? You know the app where you go and you try to catch like creatures? Tinder, that's it. Tinder, yes, got it. STDs, gotta catch them all. That's an Earl joke, isn't it? If you're still there. Do you use Bumble? Yeah, I'm actually getting down with Bumble, right? Like a lot of people go, it's like feminist bullshit or whatever, and it's like, no, I get it. Like opening with a dick pic gets annoying after a while. I get that. It's like the girls get to control. You know, I think that'd piss me off as well. I'd be like, oh, I didn't order a sad chicken wing. Where did that come from? And to any men watching, don't ever, just don't. The penis does not look good at all. It just never, it doesn't, it's not a, anyway, don't do it. But yeah, I met this girl on Bumble and yeah, like, because it was lockdown and that, I was just like, do you want to go to Bunnings? Like, so we went to Bunnings, right? And, you know, I can be a smart ass anyway. So, you know, I just kept on, like, subliminally advertising, you know, just making, so, hot dog, you know, hey, you want to see my tool? Just like, you know, just slipping it into the conversation. And she started to get on board. She's like, is that a gun in your pocket or are you just happy to see me? And I'm like, no, it's a gun. Give me a wallet. But, you know, it didn't work out. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about this. This is a Leonard Cohen song, performed by Madeline Peyroux, and I love this version. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic that I'm gathered safely in. Lift me like an olive branch and be my homeward dove. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Let me see your beauty when the witnesses are gone. Let me feel you moving like they do in Babylon. Show me slowly what I only know the limits of. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the wedding now and dance me on and on. Dance me very tenderly and dance me very long. With both of us beneath our love, we're both of us above. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. I need a choreographer. I just did my own choreography, so it's not good. Dance me to the children who are asking to be born. Dance me through the curtains that our kisses have outworn. Raise a tent of shelter now, even though every thread is torn. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to your beauty with a burning violin. Dance me through the panic that I'm gathered safely in. Touch me with your naked hand and touch me with your glove. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end of love. Dance me to the end. I've been looking forward to that. I really have. Okay. You were correct, Marianne, but I pretended not to know what you're talking about because that's part of the game. All right. So, I didn't inform you, but part of tonight's viewing is going to be me doing my homework because I have to do it. So, We'll see how this goes. It's meant to be funny, but I've never tested it before, so let's see. Alright, so fun facts about Michael Zupa's heritage is the topic of this evening. Fun facts about Michael Zupa's heritage. The essay is on sort of sensitivity culturally and like gender and all that sort of stuff. So if you don't know, I'm doing my master's in counselling and psychotherapy, so it's like how to counsel someone who's different to you, etc. That's the theme. So I'm going to read half of it and then I'll do a song and then I'll read half the rest of it, yeah. Okay, without further ado, I know that's not how you pronounce it. Peggy McIntosh, 1989, said, "As a white person, I realised I've been taught about racism as something that puts others at a disadvantage, but had not been taught to see one of its corollary aspects, white privilege, which puts me at an advantage. Whilst that's very insightful, Peggy, it's also a tiny bit like, no shit, Peggy." So, the way I see it, white people are quite happy to complain about people of colour destroying you at every sport ever. But you can't see how financially, more importantly perhaps, socially, white people get a tiny bit of a head start, aka white privilege. And yes, if I didn't dress like a ghetto hoochie, I probably wouldn't get treated like one. However, you could never pull this shit off, Peggy. I didn't mean you. You thought I meant you, didn't you? If you're watching this, you're clearly a very sexy person to be in my Facebook friends list. So I was talking to Peggy. Fucking Peggy. Anyway, Greece. If you didn't know, I'm half Greek, so Greece. The Spartans, philosophy, theatre, etc. It's important to acknowledge that modern Greece, as opposed to ancient Greece, was a maritime country, with the 9th most impressive commercial shipping fleet in 1938. By 1970, they owned 12% of the world's ocean trade. So in 1945, the war ended for most of Europe, but the Greek Civil War continued well into 1949. So the government encouraged surplus people to travel to other countries so as to cut down on unemployment. So yeah, my dad and my auntie and stuff came over in 1956. And before that, my grandfather was in the military, and my grandmother danced on grapes to make wine. No joke. That fucking I Love Lucy shit. It's a thing. She danced on grapes, yeah. I also watched her put olives in a vice and squeeze oil out of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why Greeks are fat. It's like calorie density, yeah? They say olive oil is good for you, but not at every meal, not in your fucking cereal, yeah? Yeah, there's this Hungarian girl I dated. Hi, if you're watching. Yeah, so adorable. Such an adorable little person. Yeah, early, you know. But yeah, the way she spoke like a fairy tale. Like, it was so adorable. She's like, "In my country, when you put your hand in the grass, always will come 12 ladybugs." Isn't that adorable? Like, anyway, that's how she talks. That's actually how she talked. But yeah, one time I was about to say something and she like interrupted me. So I was like, "Yeah, you know, Greeks are," and she interrupts and goes, "Greeks are fat." Orthodox Greece can fast up to 180 to 200 days a year. What is also interesting is that fasting includes the removal of dairy and meat, however fish and shellfish are allowed. So basically Greek fasting is just like normal eating but no souvlaki's. Yeah, so calamari and chips is fine. Greek fasting is like, yeah, go nuts on the calamari and chips. Which also explains why so many fish and chip shops were run by Greeks in the 80s. Truth be told, the Mediterranean diet is in fact mainly vegetables and salad and legumes. Yeah, I'm doing my homework. Vegetables, salad and legumes. A healthy dose of olive oil and a lot of red wine and coffee. Meat is typically only once or twice a week. The diet is kind of traditional to the older diaspora of Greeks, who possibly lived on the islands. So the Mediterranean diet is an island diet. I wouldn't know anything about that. My grandmother, picture the Emperor from Star Wars. She looked exactly like that. She cooked meat every day, and it was just like typical wog food, like lasagna, pasta, roasted animals, you know, as you imagine. And if you didn't eat till you were in pain, that was considered disrespectful. That was an act of disrespect. Like, she's sitting there, like, shaking her head, like, you swore in church, you know, in the eyes of the Lord. Like, what kind of a person are you, right? But she was literally like, "I have slaved over a hot stove all day. The least you can do is eat till you're in pain." That's actually what she believed, you know? It's like, the least you can do is as much as you can. You're like, "Oh, I can't eat." And she's like, "Good, that's showing me the respect." Yeah. No, she was a lovable old battle axe though. At my dad's wedding, so dad got remarried about 5 years ago, 5 or 6. Hopefully stepmom's not watching. I think it's 6 years ago, yeah. Yeah, so lovable old battle axe, my yaya, we call her. So picture the Emperor from Star Wars. Me and the Emperor from Star Wars Emperor Palpatine is sitting in a church, right? So she turns to me and she says, "How many girlfriends you have?" That's how she talked as well. I was always angry. "How many girlfriends you have? All the time you change." And I was like, kind of shrugged, because there's absolute silence, because it's a church, and everyone can hear her because she's yelling, because she only had one volume, so she's just screaming. And so I'm like, I don't know. And then, so I kind of like awkwardly try to turn it into a joke. And I go, "Oh, how many girlfriends have you had, yeah?" And she's like, 12? We're like, because everyone's listening. She's, "Before I marry 10, and after 12. So she basically confessed to, continuing to wet the spaghetti, like, after getting married. Is everyone familiar with the term wetting the spaghetti? Do you know what that means? No, I guess so, right? I gotta ask you how to pronounce your name in real life. We're just like text buddies. Yeah, is everyone familiar with the term wetting the spaghetti? Chime in if you don't know. Marianne, Earl, I'm pretty sure you know what it is. Anyway, spaghetti straight until it gets wet. Wetting the spaghetti. Yeah. Oh, look, that's enough, all right? This is not that funny and homework, so let's get on with it. Let's do some jazz. I'll get back to the bloody cultural awareness in a second. Pump up the volume. Mambo Italiano, mambo Italiano, go, mixed up Siciliano. All you calabrese do the mambo like crazy when you're in mambo. Don't want a tarantella in mambo, no more mozzarella. Mambo Italiano, try an enchilada with the fish and bacalao. Mambo, I love her, how you dance to rumba. Take some advice, paisano, learn how to mambo. If you're gonna be a square, you ain't gonna go nowhere. Mambo Italiano, mambo Italiano. Oh, go Joe, shake like a Giovanni. Hell, quesadilla, you get happy in the pizza when you mambo Italiano. Hey, Bill, congratulations. I heard your puppy outie. Was that today, was it, buddy? I'm glad to see you back on the interwebs. That's good. Can't keep you off, can we? Yes, I do. You don't have to go to the school. You gotta make it with a big bambino. It's like a dino. Get you good looking, but you don't know what you're cooking till you hear mambo Italiano, mambo Italiano. Go, Joe, mixed up the Siciliano. You get happy when you pizza when you mambo Italiano. Yeah, I just hulked up. I did. That's what happens. Oh, good on you, buddy. How many children do you have now? That's like 5, yeah? Is that 5? 5 more rows. Just keep cranking them out, don't you? Just keep coming with the hits. Let the hits keep coming. Did I do it have to be you? Alright, I'm going to do Don't Get Around Much. Fuck, I love this one. miss a Saturday dance. Heard the crowd on the floor. 5, yeah. They've asked me about you. Don't get around much anymore. Might have come, but what for? I forgot. Awfully different without you. Don't get around much anymore. Darling, I guess my mind more at ease, but nevertheless, hey mom, why start memories? Been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Couldn't bear it without you. Don't get around much anymore. Why is this happening? Cool. Keep that on, I'll do a song for Dad in a sec, alright? Seriously, stay on, I'm gonna do a, Dad will love it. You'll probably love it as well, right? I got it. Whoa, darling, I guess my mind's more at ease, but nevertheless, washed out memories. Whoa, been invited on dates, might have gone, but what for? Whoa, it's different without you. I can't live without you. Whoa, please, girl, no one needs you, baby. Don't get around much anymore. I need you, baby. I need you, baby. I need you, baby. I need you, baby. Mum, are you still there? My darling stepmother. I wish, buddy. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what, maybe I will. Maybe I'll get the guitar out to Zupa Classic. My darling stepmother, Linda Zupa, are you still there? I'm going to do a dad special. He's going to love it. And if Rena's still there, I'll do a dance break as well. There's a long outro, so. I have to do this the hard way. One sec, bear with me, people. Bear with me. God damn it. Alright. Don't worry, I'll YouTube it. In the meantime, jokes. What jokes? I won't do that. Okay. Sorry guys, I know this is totally boring, but I've been practicing this. It's gonna be awesome. Yes, you are there. Cool. All right. Get ready, Dad and Mum. Get ready. No, I didn't like it. You're on board already, aren't you? This one better have the lyrics. People. All the late night bodies have been struck between the seven bulls and the bedrooms. Prehistoric garbage trucks have a city to themselves. Echoes of wolves, dinosaurs, they're all doing the monster mash. Most of the taxis, most of the homes, only taking calls for cash. Don't know how it happened. It all took place so quick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. Close. Now my door was standing open. Security was laid back in line. But it was only my heart got it broken. He must have had a past key made out of wax. He played rubbery with insolence, and I played the blues at 12 bars down in Lover's Lane. And you never did have the intelligence to use the 12 keys hanging off of my chain. I don't know how it happened. It all took place so quick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. I've never done this before. No bicycle for alcohol. By street callers been here and gone. The landlord finally paid us some. The satin jazz man put away their homes. So we're standing outside in this wonderland, looking so bereaved and so bereft. Like a Bowery bum when he finally understands the bottle's empty and there's nothing left. Don't know how it happened. It was faster than the eye could flick. But all I can do is hand it to you and your latest trick. There you go. That's dedicated to my dad and my stepmom. God bless. What happened to the backing track? That is the question. What happened to it? What happened to it? Alright, let's do my homework. So, family, I know you don't know what's going on, but I have to do this for school, so I'm tying it in with the jazz. I said you have to do something creative, so, etc. Sri Lanka, my other half, alright. Trauma, slavery, and terrorism. Delightful. So when white people colonized Sri Lanka, you gotta be politically correct, right? When the white people liberated the savages and taught us about pants and Jesus, they did not teach us about contraception. So Lankies often have big families. Mate, Christmas is... Is that a compliment? I don't know. So Sri Lankans often have big families, right? Christmas is a big deal. Like there's 300 people there. It takes half an hour to say goodbye to everyone. Say hello, goodbye to everyone. Like say, oh hi auntie, mwah. Yeah hi, oh hi auntie, mwah. Oh hi. Wait a second, that's the uncle that molested me. He's a bad kisser. A lot of northern Sri Lankans are actually Tamil, so they're more like Indian Muslims who were English slaves, right? My family are actually Dutch burgers, which I know sounds delicious, but it's really actually the product of like conqueree Dutch people in British India that made this tribe of Dutch Sri Lankans. So my mother's maiden name is Van Rijk. It's a Dutch name. My name is Michael Adam Van Rijkszuiper. And all my family speak English, and neither Tamil nor the native Sinhalese. We don't speak any of the correct languages. Anyway, so the civil war between the Tamils and the Sinhalese government went on for like 50 years, and there's this international trade of Tamil coolies, right, which was like a derogatory slur. The coolies were basically slaves put to use in the coffee plantations in Sri Lanka, but as they kept clearing the land for coffee plantations, there's also this displacement of people and shortages of employment because the coolies do the slave work for free, right? So a whole bunch of Sri Lankans get exported to Queensland and get coolie work up here, right? Which enrages the local populations because, you know, it was either too degrading or they're expecting to be paid. But the Sri Lankans were, like, trained not to expect that. They're like, yeah, degrading, that's the correct amount of, like, respect that we're used to. And not being paid very much, they're like, yeah, that's the normal amount we get paid or whatever. So the Sri Lankans were super cheap labour for the Queenslanders, right? Anyway, this, like, anti-coolie movement in Queensland ends in the locals attacking a ship of Sri Lankans. Like, they're throwing rocks and stuff like that. And the Lankies, like, just throw a bunch of rocks. They're like, rah, and, like, throwing the rocks back at them and stuff. And see, that's my people, right? Like, we will fight for our right to be slaves, all right? Pay attention. Anyway, the settled coolies in Queensland end up filing all these complaints with the government, and eventually, like, the coolie work thing becomes inhumane and illegal, right? So, you know, the slave trade of, like, coffee plantation Sri Lankans, you know, comes to a stop. In Australia, anyway. But it's too late. There's already, like, a bunch of Sri Lankans here, and we've been smuggling our family over ever since. All right. Sri Lankan mental health. A direct quote from an article. There's no such thing as depression. No one has depression in Sri Lanka. May or may not be related to, at the time of the article being published, there were no clinical psychologists in Sri Lanka. There's just not an industry for that. So getting diagnosed with anxiety or depression on that medical level is not a thing. That's why there's no depression in Sri Lanka. Anyway, so not only is it not true, but 4,022 people were admitted to hospital for self-harm in 2011 via poisoning themselves. So Sri Lankans, like, suicidal act is poisoning oneself. That's how we do it, right? These people were often admitted to hospital again for self-harm or suicide attempts within 2 years. And the same study said that 1 in 25 would die within 5 years of the first attempt, all right? So why exactly are Sri Lankans so suicidal? A 2008 study yielded that 82% of children had experienced one war-related event. Of this number, 43% had seen a dead or mutilated body, 40% had been close to a combat situation, and 33% witnessed shell or gunfire. 95% of children experienced some kind of family violence, or as we like to call it, physical education. The father's alcohol consumption and exposure to war directly correlated with corporal punishment. So monkey see, monkey do, right? The study said that 30% of kids had PTSD and 20% had major depressive disorder. Children. So not only is there definitely depression in Sri Lanka, it's common in children, right? Yeah. Oh, and then there was the tsunami, right? So in 2004, an earthquake in the Indian Ocean caused a massive tsunami in Sri Lanka, which took over 30,000 lives. More women died because they were at home, indoors, and a lot of children were orphaned and became known as tsunami babies, right? Fathers who were widowed didn't know how to do housekeeping as well as work, and children suffered. Oftentimes the father remarried a few years later, and somehow this led to child abuse, like across the board. There's like a scheme of that. The study didn't specify who or how, but like we're all thinking the new mother, right? Because like it was fine before he got remarried, yeah. Anyway, look, it's probably war and alcohol again, but whatever. 70% of a 2009 sample had been directly affected by the tsunami. Of this number, 56% had seen the wave close by, 98% had to flee from the wave, and 23% were actually caught by the wave, like swept up in it and had survived, but were caught by it. Okay, the other issue is that in collectivist cultures, trauma is collective. So suffering reverberates throughout the family and causes change in response among all members who are affected, right? So there's more of a codependent, like, intermingling of feelings and stuff. And, the more I've studied and known collective cultures and people like that, it's like everyone rallies around someone getting a job because they know that it will increase all of their chances of survival. So that's like a thing. It's not like, oh, what are you doing in this competition between the siblings? It's like, oh, let's like try get someone, on a good track. And then it's like, we've all got a bit more of a chance. Yeah. Anyway, collective. So background to the Civil War. The Rajapaksa regime committed genocide against the Tamils. The Sinhalese natives grew racist towards the Tamils because they were sort of the slaves of the English when the English invaded and colonised North Sri Lanka, aka the British colony of Ceylon. That's where my family are from. So as the English travelled south, they tended to continue to employ the English-speaking Tamils, right? And also into the high positions of government. So the locals didn't appreciate that because it's like sort of allegiance to the invaders. Like the white people are coming in and it's like, oh, you're helping them. But it's like they were kind of slaves, they didn't really have a choice. It was like, well, they brought us here and they made us like put on pants and believe in Jesus. So we kind of have to go along with what they say, and especially if it's like, we're going to give you money and like you won't starve to death. Anyway, so the government eventually insisted on only speaking Sinhalese in certain contexts, right? So they like outlawed the English-speaking Tamils, like they oppressed them because they were like shitty that they were getting into power, right? Or they were getting into powerful positions. And so in certain contexts, the regime started dragging people off buses and executing them in public, attacking Tamil villages, all the good stuff. Torture was legalised in certain contexts. So, yeah, that's totally the thing. Oh, we're nearly there. All right. So, the Tamil Tigers, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, were an insurgents group who fought back against the government, killing the president in 1993 via suicide bombing. I told you we like suicide. The government declared the civil war to be over as the heads of the Tamil Tigers were wiped out, including MIA's dad, the pop star MIA, like her dad is one of the high-ranking members of the LTTE. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's part of the reason she was a bit of an activist, and there was all this beef where like people were telling her off for posting like child slaughter things on Twitter and stuff like that, and she's like, this is my people, like, shut up, Anyway. So another huge cause for collective PTSD was the recruitment of child soldiers. So the factors contributing to choosing to join a large insurgents group instead of going to school are not really complicated. Like, you work for the government that oppresses you and murders your people, or you fight them, and you might die, but you're probably going to die anyway. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, well, I could just like participate in this capitalism, or it's like, no, I could fight the power, And especially, like, if your friends and family have been affected by this oppression and stuff, you're like, yeah, give me a machine gun, Anyway, so another phenomenon that caused collective suffering, as I mentioned, was in the disappearing of men from their families. So they call it being disappeared. So someone gets disappeared, right? Often it was government execution, which caused significant economic damage to families and children's well-being. But worse still was when it was presumed that they had been disappeared by the Tamils, right? So the LTTE had come and taken Dad, right? Because that meant that man was a traitor. And so this caused all the economic and childhood well-being issues, but also brought great shame to the family that the deceased father had aided the regime against the people. So that was a huge deal. Okay, cool. Mental health treatment. Care seeking was often family influenced, ranging from rational choice to coercion, and migrants have greater hospitalisation rates than Westerners. Higher rates of involuntary hospitalisation. Hey, Jenna. Involuntary hospitalisation. Along the continuum of agency, the choice to avoid care. I'm reading way too fast. All right. Along the continuum of agency, the choice to avoid care and try on their own was reportedly weighed against being labelled mentally ill. So people would kind of just tough it out and like go, yeah, I'll just ride out this anxiety thing or whatever. Unless other people were like, you're crazy. And then it's like, fine, I'll go to the doctor. You know, being labelled nuts was like, okay, fine, now I'll do something about it. Otherwise, it was kind of this private thing. And yeah, and that's totally a thing as well. Like in particularly collectivist cultures, it's like, oh, what, you're going to go tell a stranger your problems? Like, no, come talk to your family. We'll give you our 2 cents in a very uneducated, judgy, and probably not helpful way, you know, but that was just like how things are done. So then and only then will I go to a doctor if people are calling me crazy. A 2018 study showed the importance of secondary non-family support in compatriots. That's people who understand as they either have the disease or treat it or advise on it. Thanks, Ella. It's fumbling on my words, okay? So, yeah, the importance of people who are, like, not family members helping, that's like a huge, what's the word? I can't remember. Valence. No, salience. Fuck it, anyway. South Asians often participate in unwilling interventions, such as religious, mysticism, or horoscopes, which they don't personally believe in. But in doing this, they're showing respect for their elders and compliance. So there's this begrudging participation in superstition, because respect's built into the cultures, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, but it's the other way around. It's like your parents believe, or your grandma, you know, and they're like, yeah, come and do this treatment or whatever, and you're like, yes, Grandma, voodoo is real. Reverse Santa Claus. Sweet, that's my homework done. Let's get back to jazz. Thank you for tolerating that and, you know, sacrificing things that could actually be entertaining. All right, let's do a song. What do you want? Don't really tell me, I'm just going to choose. Yeah, alright, let's do this. Can anyone pick it? Do you know what it is? When the only sound in the empty street is the heavy tread of the heavy feet that belong to a lonesome car. When the moon so long has been gazing down on the wayward ways of the wayward town, then her smile becomes a smirk. For sale, appetizing young love for sale, love that's fresh and still unspoiled, love that's only slightly soiled, love. Will buy, who would like to sample my supply, who's prepared to pay the price for a trip to paradise. Love for sale. Let the poet's pipe of love in that childish way. Time of love, better far than they. If you want the thrill of love, I've been through the mill of love. Oh, love, new love, every love but true love, love. For sale. Appetizing young love for sale. If you want to buy my wares, follow me, climb the stairs. Love for sale. Let the poet's pipe of love in that childish way. I know every type of love better far than they. If you want the thrill of love, I've been through the mill of love. Oh, love, new love, everything but true love, love for sale. Appetizing young love for sale. If you want to buy my wares, follow me, climb the stairs. Love for sale. Love for sale. I know it's childish. It's all very childish. So I don't know if everyone knows, but I've been sober for 20 years. It has been 19 and a half actually. It's all in the book, highlyntoxicateduse.com if you'd like to buy it. It's quite hilarious. It is a little long, and as I understand, people get stuck at the start because there's a lot of partying that kind of gets, I don't know, maybe gets a little bit mundane. But I have structured it like the hero's journey, so it is like going somewhere. It's actually cleverly set up so that things, anyway. They say that all good stories have the hero's journey. I use the template in all my books, so all 4 of them have the hero's journey template. So yeah, so why don't I drink? I'm not a good drinker. I'm just not good at it. Like some people can like have a couple of glasses of wine with dinner. Mine's like, remember in The Simpsons how Barney's like, look, it's begun! Like that's what it's like for me. I don't know what. Genetically, it's, there's a genetic component to addiction, and genetically and environmentally, I'm not good at it. Yeah, so the thing is, it's really annoying when you go out with people who are drinking and you're not drunk. Like, they're super annoying. It's like, I'm just watching you guys get more and more drunk. This is fucking boring. And I was at this party once, and this dude, like, he comes up to me and he's like, and I'm like, oh, don't you fucking dare. And he's like, and he fucking vomited all over my shirt. I'm not joking. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh, it's alright. And he's like, honestly, bro, I'm so sorry. Because he's drunk, he's just stuck in, like, a loop of his guilt. So he's like, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, give me a fucking t-shirt. He's like, what? Like, because he just wasn't, I'm like, look, well, you fucked up my shirt. Give me a fucking t-shirt. Give me a fucking t-shirt. Stop apologizing. Give me a fucking t-shirt. So he's like, oh, okay. And he starts going to take it off. And then I, like, look and I realize it's Ed Hardy. So I'm just like, oh. I'll just wear the vomit. $80 points if you can pick this one. It's a cover. When you were here before, you liked to look you in the eye, just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I am a creep. I am a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? Getting vomited on. I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. Just wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I don't want one, I've got one. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so very special. I wish I was special, but I am a creep. I am a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. No. Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I am a creep. I am a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't. Okay. I reckon I'll do one more song, one more joke in that order. Okay, I could do Funny Valentine, I could do Send in the Clowns. If anyone would like to chime in, you can be part of this. You can be part of this. Send in the Clowns or Funny Valentine. Thoughts? I've done all the jokes. Yeah, Alright, let's do Send in the Clowns. I have been practicing it. I'm having fun. I want to do 2 more. Less jokes, more songs tonight. Let's have a good old time. Alright, Hayley. I will do it. I'll do it after this, right? This has been fun. I had a good time, and I got my homework done as well. Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Send in the clowns. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? Send in clowns. I stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours. Making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love a farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you want what I'd want. Sorry, my dear. Where are clowns? There ought to be clowns. Send in clowns. Crystal sea, I've come to feel about you what you felt about me. Why only now when I see that you drifted away? What a surprise. Queen, losing my timing this late in my career. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. They're already here. Hey sis, what's up? I'm gonna do Funny Valentine because Hayley requested it. I might do Rainbow Connection as well, Hayley. It's your lucky day. These are all my favourite songs as well, so good times. I think this has a long dance break, so there might be some dancing. Alana? Ellie, you want to see more dancing, don't you? My funny Valentine, sweet coming Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your lips are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than weak? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Oh, but don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. You say, little Valentine, you stay. Each day, Valentine's Day. My fine Valentine, sweet coming Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Oh, no. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you right? Don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay the time. Each day, Valentine. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright, I promised a dance break, so I'm going to do... It's getting late. Alright, like 10 more minutes at the most, alright? If you want to go, if you had enough, don't be polite. Don't be polite. Good on ya, sticking in. Good on ya. What a difference they made. 24 little hours flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue. Today I'm proud of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine, oh, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment, please, that thrilling kiss is heaven when find romance on your menu. Ooh, what a difference they made. And different is you. You ready? Why? My yesterday was blue. Say I'm a part of you, dear. That's called a rage cry and spirit fingers. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine, oh, what a difference a day makes. Hey, Mr. T. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, laughing and kiss, what a difference is heaven where we find romance on your menu. Ooh, what a difference a day makes. And the difference is you. Hey, 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 you. Is you. Jazz. Alright, I'm going to do Rainbow Connection, and that's all. God bless you all for joining in, having a bit of fun. I didn't do a lot of jokes because it was just fun anyway. If you don't know, I always finish with Rainbow Connection. It's a classic from our childhoods. Tug at your heartstrings in the evening. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. You said that every wish would be heard and answered. A wish on the morning star. Somebody thought of that, someone believed it. But look what it's done so far. What's so amazing keeps us stargazing. What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. You've been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I hear them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Da 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 dee da da do. La dee da da dee da do. Alright, good night everyone. Haley, you've seen enough of me in these friggin' curtains. It's been like 4 hours. Thanks for coming, guys. As you know, I have a lot of fun and I think I'm funny, so whatevs if you disagree, okay? Have a good week, alright? Catch you soon.